Hello everyone, this is R.S. Miller at the endtimenews.org and today is April 16th, 2014. News coming out of Ukraine today concerning the possibility of actual Russian military involvement there has incited an urgent and ominous response from NATO. A response that should serve as a warning to Russia that they should remove their troops from within Ukraine, that is, if any are there, and withdraw the 40,000 plus troops from along Ukraine's border. Additionally, this new development should also place the entire world on notice that the possibility of an all-out thermonuclear war between Russia, NATO, and the West may be only days or perhaps even hours away. NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen made the following announcement.
Thank you very much for coming. The Secretary General will make a short statement after the meeting of the North Atlantic Council, and then he'll be happy to take a few questions. Secretary General.
Good afternoon. We have just taken further measures to respond to the crisis in Ukraine. We agree that a political solution is the only way forward. NATO fully supports the Geneva talks and all the efforts of the international community to find a political solution which fulfills the democratic aspirations of the entire Ukrainian people and respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. We call on Russia to be part of the solution, to stop destabilizing Ukraine, pull back its troops from the borders and make clear it doesn't support the violent actions of well-armed militias of pro-Russian separatists. NATO's core task is to protect and defend our allies. We have already taken a series of steps, including enhancing our air policing mission in the Baltic states and AWACS surveillance flights over Poland and Romania. Today, we agreed on a package of further military measures to reinforce our collective defense and demonstrate the strength of Allied solidarity. We will have more planes in the air, more ships on the water, and more readiness on the land. For example, air policing aircraft will fly more sorties over the Baltic region. Allied ships will deploy to the Baltic Sea, the Eastern Mediterranean, and elsewhere as required. Military staff from allied nations will deploy to enhance our preparedness, training and exercises. Our defense plans will be reviewed and reinforced. We will start to implement these measures straight away. More will follow, if needed, in the weeks and months to come. Our decisions today are about defense, deterrence, and de-escalation. They are entirely in line with our international commitments. They send a clear message. NATO will protect every ally and defend against any threat against our fundamental security. That is our firm commitment.
Terry Schultz with NPR and CBS. Mr. Secretary General, when you say that you'll start to implement these measures straight away, what will we literally see in the coming days, especially in terms of military personnel being deployed? Are you literally sending contingents of trainers or other personnel to the Baltic states who've asked for it, to Poland? What can you tell us in material terms is going to happen in the very nearest days? Thanks.
You will see deployments at sea in the air, on land, to take place immediately.
Earlier today, various sources reported that armored personnel carriers armed with weapons and flying Russian flags entered the town of Slavyansk in eastern Ukraine. The vehicles were carrying armed men wearing unmarked uniforms and masks and alleged to be pro-Russian militia. Initially, it was thought that these troops and vehicles were part of the Russian army. A Ukrainian Defense Ministry official later confirmed that pro-Russian militia had captured 6 Ukrainian armored vehicles. However, it is also being reported that Russian troops are in fact involved in the insurrection in the eastern Ukraine region. One report stated that on the 13th, an armed attack on a Ukrainian Security Services Special Forces unit in Slavyansk were alleged to have been committed by a Russian reconnaissance sabotage unit. The report went on to say that the unit was under the command of a Special Forces officer from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation. Another report stated that during the Ukrainian military offensive to retake an airport in eastern Ukraine yesterday, Ukrainian troops encountered Russian special forces who were supporting the anti-government militia. Friends, the situation in Ukraine is rapidly escalating out of control. Russia has tens of thousands of troops at the ready along the Ukraine border. NATO and allies feel the urgent need to immediately increase preparedness for war with Russia by sending planes, ships, and personnel to various locations, while the government in Kiev has begun military operations to retake its eastern territories. The U.S. military in the Black Sea region has been placed on high alert, which is a wartime footing. Considering the potential for a nuclear exchange with Russia, should war break out, a logical question would be, has the U.S. placed its strategic nuclear forces on high alert as well? Unfortunately, I'm not privy to that information. However, it would stand to reason that not only would U.S. forces be placed on a state of heightened readiness, but also those of the Russian Federation. Although there is simply no way to determine exactly how the Ukrainian crisis will play out, the one thing I know for certain is the fact that we are living in the last days and time is running out. You can build a bomb shelter, stock it up with plenty of food and water. You could move you and your family out into the deepest, darkest forest, or the most non-valuable and uninteresting chunk of dirt on the planet, in the hopes that it won't be on anyone's target list. But ultimately, and as the Bible states in Hebrews, it is appointed for men to die once, but after this, the judgment. So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. To those who eagerly wait for him, he will appear a second time, apart from sin, for salvation. Are you saved? Follow the link in the box below and pray the prayer of salvation with a sincere heart, and you will be saved. May God bless you and yours.